And like our sex life was just kind of taking a downturn, so we shaved his head, we looped it up, shoved up my ass, and everything's been great ever since then. Like it's just been perfect.
I
Honestly, I'm surprised
demonetized.
you even needed the lube.
No, well, it's pretty wide.
Hello.
If
Welcome.
this podcast would be monetized, we'll
Yeah, absolutely. We never have a chance. Welcome to episode 7. I had to double check during the intro. Episode 7 of Zero Strategy. I hope you guys, everybody listening, is well. We are joined today by, first of all, my wonderful co-hosts, the Mighty Kibbles.
Hey.
We've got That Guy Caught.
So,
We've got Cyber. Okay. We got Grog.
That costs channel points, by the way.
Yeah. And we have Polar.
Hello.
So, we got a lot to talk about. First of all, it has been roughly a month since the last
Did I not
episode.
get an intro?
I said you. Grog is here too. Grog is here too. Listen back to the audio. I didn't forget you. I would never.
Don't take that. Don't take that, Grog. You don't take that.
Yeah, you stand up.
So
I'm just
it's
laying on
been
my back.
roughly a month since we did an episode because of all sorts of various things, which we won't get too much into. But we're all busy people. But we have a couple cool things. So first of all, I just want to announce that Grog and Polar are officially joining the Zero Strategy family. So they are going to be permanent members.
Chat.
Big claps for that. And basically, it will be another kind of. We've always said we wanted to rotate in people in and out as hosts on the podcast and do various other things. So having a couple extra people just gives us that extra freedom to have shows happening more often when people aren't around or not available. So really excited to bring these guys on board. Obviously, if you are a listener of the podcast, you know both of them already from being on previously. But yeah, so just wanted to make that announcement real quick. So first of all, we're just going to go around and briefly catch up with everyone again since it has been a little while. So I'm going to go in the same order I did. So Kibbles, what have you been up to the last month?
All right. Well, most recently, I moved my entire rig back like 10 feet, and now I'm sitting on my rug, and it's nice and comfortable, and my feet aren't cold. It's pretty dope.
that's nice. I need one
Other
too.
than that, just been working from home lately, and it's been pretty spiffy, I gotta say.
Nice. What made
Yeah.
you decide to move the setup back?
His
Boredom.
feet were cold.
He couldn't move the rug forward, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
I tried
get it.
pulling off the wall boards and yeah.
Cool. All right. What about stream stuff? Anything you've been working on? Any videos? Any streams? What you been doing that stream wise?
Oh yeah. I've been streaming 7 days a week now
Damn.
for the last 20 days. So the new schedule is going pretty well. And other than that, just playing a whole crap ton of different games because I can't make up my mind and I don't finish games.
I've
I've
heard that.
accepted what I am.
Oh,
I've heard that. All right. Well, thank you. Manu, what have you been up to?
good question. I mean, work. Definitely not streaming, and I haven't been making much videos. I mean, I've been working a lot of things with like school and shit. So yeah. Other than that, though, quarantine now, so I got time for that,
That's something
Um,
at least.
I guess. So yeah, not much. Just like at home now, playing games. What I would do anyway. So
Nice. Good stuff. Cyber?
Well, for the last 12 days, I've been quarantined, so that's been great. Been playing Trials, hate it, love it, then hate it again, because we all know that struggle. And apart from that, just been streaming Destiny like crazy. I think I've streamed Destiny for the last like 10 streams, which is crazy. But we are playing Warzone on Tuesday, which I am super happy about.
Hell yeah. I'm
And
excited.
ever since I moved from Cyberwolf to Cyber Project, I am working on a rebrand, so working on a new logo that's gonna be pretty sick. So look out for that.
Yeah, excited to see it. Absolutely.
Nice.
Grog, what have you been up to?
Really, I've just been trying to use this as a window of opportunity to work more on streaming, and off stream, I'm trying to yet been a little unsuccessful, but I'm trying to use some of that free time to just work on new like trade skills. So, um, I'm a librarian by trade, and there's a great resource that a lot of public libraries in the United States. I don't know about the EU or UK, but there's a website called lynda.com, Lynda,
Yep.
and it's kind of like before there was Masterclass, there was lynda.com. So it's basically professional courses for people who are learning like coding or any kind of software. So I'm trying to teach myself DaVinci Resolve because I want to like get better at editing. So they
Ooh.
have like a 5 hour like multi-part video plus like a kit that you can download so you can like work on a project. And so part of it is I'm both doing my regular thing with gaming, but I'm also trying to like I don't know practice new skills. So
That's
That's
cool.
dope.
Hell yeah.
You
Alright.
have like a prod, like a thing that's called Karen when they have Linda.
That sounds good. At
Call
least
me
you're
upon these
making the
jobs.
most of the time that you have.
I think
Yeah,
that's what
trying to
everyone's
do.
trying to do. I think everyone's just trying to get through it. And
For
it's
sure.
good that you're actually doing something productive. I've just been eating all my quarantine snacks.
I ate mine day
No,
one.
so
Fuck.
And Polar, last but not least,
Yes.
what you been up to?
Not a whole lot. I
I
really
expected.
like the I really like the idea that Grog has. However, that takes more than I have to give. I haven't been doing much. I haven't been working. Combination of really just having time off right now, and then some little bit of just how they're changing the schedule up because of things. So like I'm not. I'll basically have almost a month off in between work and only having like 4 days of work, and then like another 2.5 weeks off.
That's
I'm
good.
getting really the kids, the family. We're all getting kind of a little cabin fever. It's just been a little whatever. But the trials been
all
doing a
the
lot of
sharp
trials.
objects.
Oh yeah,
Hide them
all
all.
the sharp objects from me. You know what I mean? I got to take them away from me. But yeah.
Oh,
just
I
been,
forgot. I also successfully binge watched all of Mandalorian yesterday, and County, it
Oh
is
wow.
a treat.
See,
Oh, wow.
apparently they only have the first couple episodes in the UK, so I can't.
Yeah, they're
Just
releasing
wait,
them
yet.
every week.
Wait until they're
Oh.
all done. Get the trial. You can watch if you just like have a day off. You can just watch it all because they're only like 30-40 minutes, but they're amazing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait. I'm excited
They're
about
super
it
good.
for sure.
Super good.
This is the way.
This is the way.
All right,
Don't laugh,
perfect.
Con. You know what that is.
all right. So yeah, we got a lot to dive into. So we'll kind of get into some news first. So the main thing I wanted to talk about was the recent news about Twitch's new ban policy. So if anybody would like to jump in and explain, just to give us an overview for anyone listening, anyone that might not know about it, what the new policy or the new strategy that Twitch has when it comes to bans.
I honestly
Yeah,
don't know
so-
much about it.
Basically, I mean, basically the new Twitch ban. So whenever you ban a person, they can no longer see your chat at all. They obviously can't comment into your chat, and it even goes further beyond that by taking basically shadow banning the IP address. So if they were to make a different account, they can. I think they can still see the chat if they make a different account, but they cannot comment. Is that correct? Right.
Well,
I
they
think
can
no one
type,
see what they type.
but
yeah.
nobody can
But
see.
we
them.
can't see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Can they see chat?
No, they can
Yes.
see what they type.
No, they
Okay.
can
Can
see.
they
They
see
can
it?
see chat
Oh,
on,
can they?
on a new
Okay.
account. Yeah.
On a
why is
secondary account.
lonely now.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a really funny Twitter video I saw just like an hour ago. You know the I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. It's really stupid. He's a big streamer, but he makes videos similar to like how Lance does with the different viewer reactions.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a video about a guy that got banned, and it explained it really well. Actually, I'll retweet it on the podcast Twitter if anyone's interested. Go and check it out. But
Do it.
it shows really well how it works. And yeah, if you get banned on your main account, you can create another one, come back in. You can type, and you can see everything, but nobody else will see you. So it's like you're not there. So obviously, in smaller channels, that might be noticeable. I'm thinking if you're in a big, 10,000 viewer stream, you're not even going to know you're shadow banned. It's
No.
not even going to really have any impact. But in smaller streams, it'll definitely be noticeable if the streamer's just ignoring you.
Now, what I will say is, I mean, I think that's good, just to kind of minimize the trolling. However, one thing that is really big these days, which most have, are VPNs, which changes your IP address.
Yes.
So I don't know. I mean, it's obviously a really easy workaround just to
Although
quickly
I guess
change
in
it
it.
on.
I guess in
Yeah.
that instance though, it would a VPN would allow you to circumvent having a secondary account like censored, but then if you have that second account banned, because then at that point it's also not only going to ban you by the IP, but Twitch I'm sure is also like limiting access to that particular user profile on that page for that streamer. So
Yeah.
I guess worst comes to worst, you just ban them twice or 3 times or 4 times. Like I don't know.
At the end of the day, it's
What if you
still
tried-
putting up another barrier
For sure.
to stop
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
trolling. I don't know if you guys have had any experiences with trolls recently, but it's I mean, I had a really bad one not too long
The
ago.
CK count?
Well, yeah, I mean, I had a really bad experience with a troll fairly recently, and it's as much as it's never really bothered me in the past, it doesn't really bother me now either. Like, I'm happy to ban if it comes to it, but just knowing that they're going that extra level to kind of take control of it and try and just minimize that, I think is a really, really good thing.
Right. Absolutely.
So this is different, just to be clear, to timing someone out, right? Timing someone out, they'll be able to come back. It'll all be normal. They can still see chat. As far as I'm aware, this is, we're discussing for permanent, if you are banning a user from talking in your chat forever. One thing that I think we need to watch for, which has been brought up a couple of times, is, sometimes it happens in my chat. I don't know about you guys, but mods might just ban someone just, to be funny, and they'll
Yeah.
unban them again later. We need to, that kind of can't really be happening anymore. I don't know what will happen if you unban that person. Does it just erase the whole thing? Does it just pretend like it doesn't happen? Or does it still have an impact? Like,
Well, that's one of the things that the TDLR actually didn't explain, because obviously bots can ban people if you set it up correctly. So it would be interesting to see if you ban someone, quickly unban them, if the Twitch algorithm still forces them into that category and then pretty much shadow bans the entire IP address. I don't know how quick it is. I imagine it would be instant, but
I have to set up every time Polo types my chat, he gets banned.
That's
From what I
smart.
understand, there was a couple people who were testing this online, making alt accounts on purpose and then banning them and then unbanning them and seeing what would happen as a result. And as far as anyone can tell, it seems like when you ban someone, it instantly shadow bans them. When you unban them, it does automatically lift the ban. But it kind of brings us to kind of another issue that was also raised, which was like when you ban someone, it also cancels any sub that account had with that channel, with that streamer. So if someone is banned, the streamer loses that sub, and then that person has to resub again to the same channel for that sub to be credited towards the streamer themselves. What's unclear is whether or not if the person is banned, are they compensated or refunded in any way for the sub, or did that go through and they get charged twice? In any case, it would be apparent that the streamer's definitely not getting the money from that sub. So, if you ban someone, ideally it should be, you really mean it.
If we're touching on what you just said, it would be funny to see that situation flipped over to the streamer's side. So let's say a person subs, he then gets banned, he then subs again, right? So 2 revenue streams have been sent to Twitch. It would be interesting to see if those revenue streams actually make it to the streamer or if that's almost held. So let's assume that there isn't a refund policy. It'd be interesting to see if they actually keep it or if they actually send it to the actual streamer.
Oh, I feel like the streamer would still get it. I feel like the ban's going against the person, right? So I mean, they're out of luck. They're not getting the. I mean, obviously, I haven't looked it up. I don't know if there's, but I don't see why they would refund you the money for being a dick. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it does make sense. It does, and I think the amount of cases where someone's going to sub, get banned, and then they'll go, "Oh, I'll just resub and spend my money again." I feel like that's going to be a low number of cases. It'll definitely happen. To
I
some
mean, if
extent.
anything, it's going to be like people with gifted subs or something like that.
Mm.
And so honestly, if that's how you want to give your money to your favorite streamer, like one, don't piss them off and have them ban you, and two, just give some subs because it's like way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this gonna affect your guys' view on, moderating your chat at all? I mean, I haven't had a chance yet to sit down with my mods and discuss this properly. But for example, for me, like I have a kind of I know where the scale is, and if somebody says something I don't like, depending on the severity, it's a timeout, or it can be instant ban, if it gets to it. And I also have a level of, if you say something I don't like enough times and you've been told and warned, then you're getting banned anyway. But is this going to affect your guys' view on it? Are you going to think twice about banning and maybe go to a timeout instead of a ban? Is it affecting you at all, any of you guys?
Me, I'm pretty thick-skinned. I'm very thick-skinned, so it takes a lot to push me over the edge. I think if somebody pushes the buttons enough to get banned in a channel, everyone included, I think it's all justified. I think we all know how to deal with trolls. We're all like pretty much have like similar people in the community. We know when a button is being pushed just a little bit too far. So I think the scale of where we're gonna ban somebody, I don't think has shifted, but it'll definitely make me think: should I ban this person because I'm gonna lose out on money? And is that really the conversation we should be having?
Mm.
If somebody gets banned in a channel, it means that they mean it, but at the same time, it's gonna reduce your revenue.
Well, it's only going to reduce it if they were subbed or going to sub.
If we think longevity, so let's say
Yeah.
this troll sticks around for a year, that's potentially like a year's worth of subs, and it for me personally, it's not a conversation I'm gonna have with myself. It's more if they push the button too much and they're a dick in chat, then yeah, I don't want that type of
Yeah,
person
I
in
don't
the
think
community.
for me, I don't think it's gonna change because I'm like Cyber said, I'm not looking at it for. I mean, yeah, you might lose out on someone for subbing, but I don't know if you're just a big troll and you are pushing those buttons that would typically get you banned or timed out or whatever. I'm not gonna not do that just 'cause like, oh, I might lose 250. Like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's not gonna change how I would or would want people to get banned because I mean, you push those buttons, get out of here. I don't want you here anymore. I don't want your money. I don't know.
And even if you want to look at it purely from a money standpoint, even if they do sub every single month for a year, the effect that that's going to have on the community could deter other people from sticking around that could be
Exactly.
giving money.
For sure. Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
could be giving up one sub for like 10 because,
Yep.
here's this toxic asshole in here that no
Mhm.
one wants to deal with.
It's
Yeah,
usually
I mean,
Paula, but
I don't think any of us are particularly, I don't think any of us are particularly like fast and loose with the just random bannings. I guess my point of it, not so much. I get the angle of the the financial point of view, and again, I think obviously like you guys say, it's probably not. It's probably very minimal anyway, if at all. I think I was just more thinking about it. Well, I know that this ban's going to have more severe consequences than it used to. However, I think none of us are really too just trigger happy with the ban button. So it's probably okay, but I think it's definitely an interesting thing, and I think people should definitely be aware of it, particularly mods as well, because I know with Twitch there is that whole culture of like, I'm a mod, ban, unban, ban, unban. We just need to watch. Do you think this is going to affect Twitch chat as a whole across the whole site? Do you think there's going to be, is Twitch chat suddenly going to become a bit less edgy? What do you think? Do you think you're going to see any difference at all, or status quo?
I don't think there'll be any change. I don't think there'll be any change because I think part of it is the information is not going to filter out to the whole like viewer base.
Mhm.
There's plenty of people who are going to tune into Twitch that like are not up on social media, and with the amount of news, with the news cycle churning so heavily right now, like this will be within a few days time or even a few weeks time. This won't even be on anyone's radar. It'll be a thing that people have filed away as like, sort of, this is now part of like the canon for how this ecosystem works. But like generally, people aren't going to think about it. I mean, the internet has been what the internet has been, for the last 20 years plus, and like the sort of edgy, memey, shock culture that we have and have had for such a long time, it's not gonna go anywhere.
No.
And also immaturity, for like usually it's like the people who are getting a ban, and I don't mean immature in the sense of age, but just in terms of just like attitude, be it like some 40-year-old, guy shit posting, could be from his mom's basement, or it could be like, some like 16-year-old who's like emancipated and moved out and they're like a Doogie Howser. It doesn't matter who you are. There's just immature people, and like if someone does something
Check your
stupid-
references, Grog.
Yeah, sick references.
But I would say like it doesn't really matter. Like people are gonna do what people are gonna do. Like it's that attitude is probably ingrained already, and I don't see that changing just at the expense of like one policy shift. And I
Hmm.
bet you there's a lot of people who don't even know it's happened.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Any final thoughts on that, or we want to move on to another topic?
I think we can move on from that now.
All right.
I would
Okay.
like to note that
Nope.
whole time my cats have been fighting upstairs.
Oh,
been-
yeah.
it's been super loud.
Shut up, Mike. I want to hear that.
I need one of those like surface
ASMR cat
microphones I can put
fighting.
in the ceiling. Okay, look, you can hear.
Do ASMR cat fighting. I probably
Yeah.
will blow up on YouTube.
Yeah, dude.
Just
May as well.
ceiling-mounted mic.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to another topic. We got a couple more things to talk about. I just want to quickly say before we do that, chat, anybody who is watching the live show right now, twitch.tv/ZeroStrategyPodcast, you can ask us questions in the chat. Feel free to at any of the people you see on screen here or at Zero Strategy Pod so it highlights and we can see it. We will try and get to any questions. If you have any, it doesn't even have to be too related to what we're talking about. If it's about Twitch or content creation or even games that we might be interested in, feel free to throw it in there. But yeah, so Manu has our topic sheet. What is the next thing we want to talk about?
Okay, so we had the brief catch up. We talked about the new ban policy. Next on the list says, what happened to Condi's hair?
That's
I'm
funny.
kidding.
I don't
Next is-
remember putting that on the sheet.
I mean, I put it there, but
We added it.
I
We
mean,
need to
it's
come
still
up with a
valid.
dramatic story about how you burst into a burning building to save some children.
I mean,
Okay,
honestly,
and your beard was convenient tucked into your shirt.
For
Yeah,
listeners at home who
the-
cannot
the
see
fire
this,
burned
Condi
the
has
haircut
shaved his
so
head bald.
clean that no one would believe it.
I'll tell you the actual reason. It's because I've been trying so hard to carry Polar in trials, and honestly, I'm losing all my hair. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's so stressful. So all my hair fell out. That's the real reason.
So, actual
Jokes are super funny when they're completely untrue. You know what I mean?
the actual topic next is managing conversations with chat or people you're playing with in Discord or etc.
Cool. All right. So, just to, I guess, give us a brief into this, and then we'll discuss. It's as a streamer when you are playing games and you're maybe playing games with other people, but you've also got chat. How do you balance between talking to your chat, talking to people in Discord? You know, what is the way to do it? What's the etiquette? How do you guys approach it? So, anyone want to jump in on that at all?
Yeah. Just for me, I'll say like my point of view on it is in terms of like maintaining Discord or who you're actually playing with, Discord and your chat conversations. It is a skill. It is something even just like not even if you're not even playing with anybody, just being able to play and keep up with chat and having some sort of conversation, especially when you're doing, I don't know, like comp or trials or something that's really taking your energy. Like it is a skill and a half to be able to hold some sort of a conversation at the same time, playing the game, providing some sort of content, not just dying constantly, Condi. And but I would say, I mean, if you're playing with somebody, obviously, I would say most people would agree that when you're talking to chat or having a conversation with chat, mute yourself in Discord so other people aren't hearing that conversation specifically, especially if you're playing with other streamers, because I mean, we play with each other a lot. And if someone's talking in chat, mute yourself in Discord so that you're not hearing your conversation with stream in other people's streams. You know what I mean? And it's as easy as setting up a hotkey. For me, I have it because I use a lot of I use that nerdpad. I call it the Tataris V2. It has a very nice button right by my thumb to where I don't even have to take my hand off or do anything special. I just move my thumb up, hit it. I'm muted in Discord, and it's really easy to do, and that's kind of how I go about it. And it's pretty easy now. But like I said, it took me a while to be able to kind of um, go back and forth and still be able to like move in the game.
Sure. I mean, I agree. I think like, oh my goodness.
The fuck was that?
Maybe.
Bless you.
So I agree. I think if you are playing with other people, particularly other streamers, like Polar says, a big thing is muting yourself to talk to your own chat. I think it's something that everybody learns over time, but it is a big deal. Particularly if, like you say, if you're trying to, make good content and play with other people, because it gets muddled, it gets confusing. If you're talking to have one conversation and then someone in another stream's hearing that, but they don't see that conversation because they're looking at a different chat, it all becomes very, very confusing. Everyone's talking over each other, and it just makes things difficult. So yeah, I agree. Hotkey, I have one of the big chunky boy keyboards with a numpad, so I have one of the buttons on the numpad. It's nice and easy. Near my mouse, I can just unmute. I don't know about you guys. I'm lucky enough to have 3 monitors, so I have Discord up on a monitor, and I can see if it's muted or unmuted, so I can kind of glance and just tell if I'm muted or not. I don't know how I would do it if I didn't have Discord visible, because with streamer mode on, there's no audio cue for your mute or unmute. And I need to
your
have...
Stream Deck. Stream Deck has a nice little function where if you've got a hotkey, when you press that button, you can change the image on it. So I've got a hotkey on here for Discord, so when I press it, it shows a line through a microphone, so I can visibly see if I've pressed that hotkey and if it's still active. And then when I press it again, the line through it completely disappears. So if I can't see Discord up on my monitor, because my Discord monitor is usually out the way, I can visibly see it on that Stream Deck.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
You have a monitor, especially for your Discord only.
It's actually split between Spotify and Discord.
Yeah, that's why I do it on mine.
Yeah,
Nice voice
having
crack, Anton.
multiple monitors is very handy. I have the
I
same
have
thing.
2. So that make me a pleb?
I've
Yeah,
got a little
need to
different
step up.
approach. I'm just a big
Alright.
proponent
I'm
of
still
push to
better
talk.
than you, Polar, so it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Just to kind of hit on what Condi said, I think context matters, and I think you can have 2 conversations with your stream. I think you can have a conversation with the people that are currently in Discord. You can also have a completely separate one with chat. And if you don't mute yourself, then you're almost having 3 conversations, one of which you don't actually have the context for. And I think it is streamer etiquette. It is a skill, like Paula said, and eventually you just condition your mind to just quickly mute yourself when you speak in a chat. I think it's just one of those fundamental things that if you don't get right, then your content suffers as a whole.
And I would
Sure,
say
yeah.
for us, it's a little easier because we're on PC.
Yeah.
Where I think it's harder because like Butterfly, Stacy, CK's wife, woman, girl, I don't know.
Woman.
Woman, girl, wife.
Common law wife.
Carer.
And she plays on console a lot, so I mean she's in Discord now, but she's got a nice headset to where she flips it up.
Oh yeah. I have
Discord's
that
muted.
too.
She flips it
Yep.
down. She can hear it. So,
Yep.
but I mean, if you're not on Discord, it's definitely a lot harder, especially if you're playing, in like PlayStation chat or whatever. I forget what it's called. But
Yeah, for sure. I went through that as well, and now looking back at it now, I wonder how I managed to convince people to play with me back in the day when I was streaming off my PS4 and I was talking to chat the whole time while having conversations. It must have been the most annoying thing. So for
can just
anyone that
imagine
played
you
with me back in the day, I'm so sorry. I'm really
I
sorry.
can just imagine you looking at chat going, "Oh, thank you for the follow, Ice." Well,
Yeah, it's tough. So, what do you guys think about like how to kind of balance that out? So, for example, like hypothetical, there's a lot going on in your chat, and you realize, well, okay, I've been muted for like 5 minutes talking to chat. Do you kind of prioritize one over the other? How do you kind of, I guess, balance that out so that you're not ignoring the people that you're playing with, but you're also not ignoring your chat? What's your guys' kind of strategy?
Well, it's usually like when I'm muted for like 2 or 3 minutes talking to Chad, it's usually you being like, "Oh, you in there?" You still there? And then like you, on the other hand, are muted for half an hour, and I don't say shit. So
Well, I mean, that is kind of what I was getting at a little bit. It's when you are working with people a lot, I think it's kind of good to tell. Like again, if I've got that Discord open and I can see Cyber's muted, then I know he's probably talking to chat, so I'm not going to start a conversation. Generally, it's obviously not always possible.
I think it also depends on like how many people are in your chat at the moment, and then how much is going on in chat. So you got to find like a good balance between talking to chat and like in game, I guess.
I think it
Also
purely-
depends on what you're playing too. When you like play
Exactly.
trials, you obviously have to talk more to the person you're playing with than chat, because it's a competitive environment. You know what I mean? You want to win. So if you just talk to chat and can't like give call outs, that's not good as well.
Yeah, and at
Um,
that
you
point,
have
you're
to-
just doing like you just go. Everyone kind of know. I mean, I would say most people that are in your chat watching you stream, you're doing either like high level comp, doing some sort of trials where it's going to take a lot of your focus. It's usually at the intermission in between rounds or something like that. You kind of mute, go back to chat, play a little catch up type of thing, and that's where you're at least acknowledging everybody and they kind of know. Obviously, he's playing right now. He'll catch up, and then when the break happens, you just kind of read chat and just kind of answer and chit chat.
Yep, I think you have to read that situation very well. It purely depends on what game you're playing, how hyped everyone is, what the attitude is of the streamers. Like, because we all play together, we all know how to read each other. And like you said, Connie, if you see someone muted, you know not to start a conversation. You'll then like probably move more of your focus towards chat. And then when I start talking, or when anyone else starts talking, then you bring like the conversation back, and you you have to juggle the two of them, but you have to read that situation very well. And it goes back again, it's a skill. It's something that you learn over time. You learn how to juggle the two of them, because the amount of times that I've went into a stream when no one is talking, absolutely no one is talking, and there's people typing in the chat like, hey, how's it going, and they don't even acknowledge chat. So
They're
all about
leaning
that
too
juggling,
hard
baby.
one way or the other. Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
I've been the
because I mean,
same.
fundamentally, you want to keep your viewership engaged. So I think sitting and doing a stream, even if you're doing something that is like super laid back, where you could afford to have time to talk to chat, versus something like trials where it requires all of your focus, I think ultimately it is like Billy said, it's like a juggling act where you've gotta you want to engage the viewership, because even so, like even if you just come into a stream and you don't have like a lively conversation going with like the people in Discord, like just coming into a stream and someone's just sitting there just like straight gaming, just saying nothing, like that's just weird. It feels
Yeah.
weird. It feels weird as
It's
a viewer.
uncomfortable.
Like if someone's doing intense gameplay, and they're just popping off, and like obviously the game is focused, like the focus of their attention, then that's one thing. But like if they're just like running around the tower, like picking up engrams and just saying nothing, like there's nothing more uninteresting than that. And like so you want to be able to feed something to the audience. I mean, I think it just comes down to etiquette, and I think also for me, it is difficult because I started streaming for console, so I felt like I had to be very conscious of muting, unmuting, and so I like have a lanyard like
Mhm.
inline mute, and I use that a lot, and I just kind of trained myself to do that on the regular. But the problem with that is I get tongue tied, so like I'll be talking, but I'm trying to work through my internal monologue, but I'm also hearing a conversation that's happening that maybe like I'm not responding to. I'm trying to respond to chat, so like I'm saying a thing, but other people are talking over me. Um, but it's not a rude thing. It's like I'm just trying to work through what I'm trying to say to the viewers, but at the same time, I'm also hearing two people in Discord talking back and forth, and that has like messed me up before, where I'm just like I flub my words, or it just like becomes difficult to like get a thought out.
Mhm.
And sometimes the technical limitations of how you're either muting, unmuting can be hard. And I used to have push to mute when I moved to PC, and I found that difficult because the same thing was still happening. I get pushed to mute, and I would be muted for Discord, and I could have a conversation with chat, but then I'm still listening to what's happening, both in game. Maybe there's music, maybe there's a conversation happening, and I'm trying to process thoughts, and I'm trying to read chat. So it's like five things I'm trying to keep track of. I started doing push to deafen, but then the problem is I don't hear what's going on in the background, and I don't have a setup where I can look at Discord while I'm streaming.
Mm.
So like I don't know if Condi's muted. You know, like I just start talking, I'm like, "Hey, Condi." Oh, he's muted. He just doesn't say anything, so I'm just like, I just know at this point. But
Yeah, I get on a tangent, and then I'm like, I kind of hear somebody maybe trying to talk to me, but I'm like, I'm gonna forget what I'm saying if I don't like continue what I'm saying right now. Like it's very hard. Like Cyber says, it's a skill, like everything else. I mean, I think when you first start streaming, just trying to manage gameplay and chat is difficult, and then managing that on top of having people in a voice chat with you. I mean, like one of the most stressful things to me now still is doing a raid in Destiny 2, partially because it's PvE, and partially because there's 6 people in a voice chat all talking, and you're trying to deal with talking to your chat as well. And I don't want to be rude, and like I'll just say it, to me, chat's still going to take priority, right?
For sure.
Because that's the reason that we're all doing this, right? Is to have that community and have that. I absolutely adore playing with the people I get to play with. It's great fun. It's always a good time. But I would still have to prioritize chat most of the time. Recently, for like the more sort of competitive stuff, I kind of openly say, okay, guys, chat, I'm ignoring you for the next 10 minutes while I focus on this. You know, and again, I think most people understand maybe having a chat command or something is useful for that. Something I still need to maybe think about doing. But yeah, it's definitely something that's going to take practice. It's going to take just experience. But it's an important thing to learn. Very important thing. Because you make a bad impression on someone, and it's going to be tough to then get them to want to stream with you again or make content with you again. You know, you need to show that. I guess it's just polite, isn't it? It makes a good impression.
I think it's hard too. I would say the harder part is if someone new comes in. You know what I mean? Like you haven't seen his name before, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And like you're in the middle of trials. Like, at that point, I'm like, I'll mute real quick to be like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, thanks for stopping by, or thanks for following." And I go back to trying to play the game or whatever. But if like the regulars that come in, they know. I mean, CK, Wolfie. I mean, this is a big list. I'm not gonna go through everybody, but they when they say something, they know I'm not probably gonna answer them that second. But if someone new comes in, there's like I have this urge. I'm like, I need to acknowledge them so that they feel welcome when they're in your chat or whatever. But so that's kind of harder for me because
I mean that's
the
where
game
having
at that point
your
may
mods
suffer, but it's like at the same because you're not communicating well with whoever you're playing with. But at the same time, it's like, well, this
you got to make
new person might matter more.
You got to make sacrifices somewhere for sure.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious what each of you like. Kibbles mentioned he uses push to talk. I've recently moved to push to deafen, or like not like toggle deafen. And because I can't see Discord, I got real clever. I bound it to my numlock key. So if the numlock key light is on, I'm not muted.
Hey, that's
Smart.
big brain. Yeah.
My Stream Deck and everything else is hooked up to the Stream PC. So that's my problem is that the game and the Discord are all coming through the game PC. So because I can't see Discord unless I alt tab out, that's my workaround. I just use numlock, and I'm like, all right, well, I've got a light. It doesn't do anything. Like I'm never going to use that in game. It's never bound to a movement. But I'm curious as to like what other people use, because like there's like what push to mute, push to talk, deafen, toggle. Like there's other stuff.
Push to end stream.
That's just Alt F4, right?
I mean, yeah, basically.
Yeah, I've got my push to talk on my Alt key on left, so I can do that WAD, and it's just formed into my new little habit where my hand is a claw. It's always just kind of hovering above it, so it's just become like second instinct. And then for other games like Overwatch, and for other games where there's also things for push to talk, I just bind it to my mouse button for 6, so it's right there, so I can either be like, talk to this group that I'm with in Overwatch, or I can talk to Discord, because sometimes you need to shit talk your team without them hearing.
Or you go into local chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun. So
I
I
found
totally
a fun one. So on the majority of gaming mouses now, you've got a DPI button that nowhere in any game should you be changing DPI during the game. So this is a handy one to have. Majority because because it's right there. It's right underneath the mouse wheel. It usually depends what mouse it is, but it's great to actually, if you do use a claw like Kibbles, you can actually still keep 2 fingers on each mouse button and hold the DPI, so your gameplay doesn't suffer. Because like, no offense to you, Kibbles, I have alt bound to a lot of things, like especially in game.
Oh, yeah,
Majority
I always
because
swap it off.
yeah.
I've just
So
gotten
like
used to it.
I think that's a really handy one. And then I've got one for muting myself permanently in Discord, and then one for deafening myself permanently in Discord. So I've got like 3 different ways to interact. Like I'll mute myself if I still want to hear if people are talking. I'll deafen myself, or if like I'm in an intense fight and I still want to quickly say hi to the person that just followed, you can like hold that button down, and then the gameplay doesn't suffer. Well, mine does because I'm shit. But
Yeah, so like I
Yeah.
mentioned, I have Discord open on one screen while I'm playing, so I can see at a glance, but I toggle. I find that much easier. I don't know what it was like when I first moved to PC gaming and I had to get used to mouse and keyboard. I had a really tough time with these fat fingers to actually press the right buttons, and for me, the idea of having a push to talk while I'm in a fight scared the crap out of me. Like, to be able to communicate, like, you know, quickly, you know, okay, I got this kill, he's here, or this guy's sniping at this angle, whatever. The idea of me like trying to win a fight and also at the same time think about pressing the push to talk, I couldn't do it. That's a skill I just don't have. So I have it, like I say, toggled. I did have it on my Stream Deck, but I personally found the button on the Stream Deck was very unreliable. And there was times where I would toggle the mute and it would just literally toggle on and straight back off, like a double pressed. I don't know if that's just me. Also, where I have the Stream Deck, it was awkward to, I would have to take my hand off the keyboard. So I have it on my num key, and I've got one for toggle mute, one for toggle deafen, and I can just take my hand off the mouse for a second, and it's so quick to just be able to do that. That was the easiest way for me. But again, because I've got Discord open and I can see it, it makes it much easier for me to be able to do that nice and quickly. And there's still times where I get it wrong, and I'm like, you know, I'm sitting here at my computer screaming like, he's behind you, and then round ends, and I'm like, oh, sorry guys, I was muted, my bad. Like, you know, it does happen, but most of the time that works for me.
one of the biggest things that you need to take cognizance of with the Stream Deck is it does have a feature built into it that it's like input lag almost, but it has like a fundamental feature that if you press 2 buttons at once, it doesn't activate that. So if you try and press your mute button, then instantly push it again, it thinks it's an error because you shouldn't be pressing more than 1 button twice. So there is a lot of multi-action functions that I have to build within the Stream Deck that has a delay in it, even if it's like muting Spotify and then playing an animation and then replaying Spotify. I need to build it within that. It's kind of like a fundamental flaw, but it does work well. But I mean, sometimes it's user error for me because like I've got fat fingers as well. I press like 6 buttons at once, and like I clip it in stream and then mute myself in Discord all at the same time.
Yeah. Anyone else got any other thoughts on that at all?
There is one thing that I really want to look into, and it's a foot pedal switch. It's
I'm
a
glad you
USB.
mentioned that. I was going to mention the same
My
thing.
buddy's got
Yeah.
that. He likes it.
And it looks amazing. You can bind it to any key. Some of the more high tech ones or the more expensive ones also come with a program, so you can change the function on it. But it's basically just a hotkey bound to a foot plate. So you press it once, and then you could mute yourself. You press it again, you unmute yourself, and it gives that flexibility where you've still got both hands, you've still got your mouth next to the mic, and you don't have to look to see anything. Your foot's just constantly on that foot pedal.
I've
You-
been. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and you go.
I've been thinking about getting something like that, and like a wheel, so I can play Destiny with it, like a fucking racing wheel. You know, those gaming racing
Yeah,
wheels.
I like it.
Again, and then play Destiny. That's content.
Mm.
Like go flawless in trials with a fucking racing wheel.
Dude, that's what you need to bind your fire button to the,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
foot pedal. So you're actually
Yeah.
shooting
That's
your
what I
gun
was
with the
just
foot pedal.
thinking.
So you're just
And
sitting
then
here
I
like
Steer
I
the
have
wheel
a foot
just like
pedal
right
that
to
has
aim.
2 buttons on it, and I was like,
that'd be phenomenal. No, I
I'm
like
doing
it.
it.
I like that idea. I always thought about getting one of those obscenely big, huge buttons, like the novelty ones.
Mhm.
that I could just like slam to mute and unmute my mic,
Yeah.
and have it on my desk and just absolutely slam it, or put it on my chair so I have to do a little jump, like, you know. That's
Yeah,
a good idea,
little-
though.
Emphasis on the little jump.
Okay.
You can't even get off the ground because your feet aren't
You-
touching the ground.
Pretty sure
on
your
the
feet have
chair.
to touch the ground to be able to jump
yeah,
up
yeah,
on
yeah.
it.
That's the foot pedal would actually help me.
God, his ass.
You'd have to
I'm
put
just
it on
trying to
like
wrap my
a-
head around how a whoopee cushion USB would work.
Oh, that's $1 million idea right there. I'm telling you. But yeah, okay. So I mean, overall, I guess on the topic of it, it's just, you know, practice. If you're playing with people, just be conscious of, you know, particularly if they're streaming, are they muted? Are they not muted? Or do you need to be muted? And you'll get there. And you know, you will thank us if you learn these things. It is very important. So, yeah. We don't have too much longer left. Again, anybody watching in the live chat, feel free to ask us any questions. I want to talk a little bit about games that have come out or are coming out. Kibbles, what are you looking forward to? Any games coming out soon?
Persona 5 Royal.
Isn't it
I
this
thought you
week?
might say that.
Oh, like
Yeah,
next
it's
week?
going to be coming on Wednesday. It releases on Tuesday, but I'm getting it on Wednesday, I guess. But apparently, I put my pre-order in early enough that Amazon got it to the warehouse, so it's still going to ship.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited about that. It's probably going to be the only thing I play for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that'll be good. Has anyone been playing Doom or Animal Crossing, anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah, both.
At the
Okay,
same
Doom
time.
looks amazing.
Doom is really nice.
Are you punching raccoons and?
Like, based on the fan art, I thought it was just one game. I'm confused. Can someone explain to me?
I mean, because the games came out the same day, it's like there's videos of it too where it's like Animal Doom Internal Horizons or something like that, and it's just like fan-made videos of Animal Crossing characters going to like GameStop buying Doom. Like these little innocent people from Animal Crossing go and buy fucking Doom, and then Doom guy, the fucking big ass guy, walks through the wall and gets Animal Crossing. It's like this is really fun videos. They came out together, and like Doom is awesome. I've been playing it. I haven't played much Doom before. I haven't played the 2016 version, but this one looked good, and I like the style where you could just crush everything, you know, just
Mm.
crush everything that comes into your way, fuck everything up. So I've been playing that, and then also in Animal Crossing, you just crush everything. So you just crush the trees. I mean, I don't know what it is about Animal Crossing. I played it on Wii when I was a young lad, so that was fun.
But a wee boy.
Yesterday.
Yes,
Young
yes.
lad.
I'm not that young. I'm old as fuck. So, so
Yep.
yeah, I've been playing those two games, and I'm looking forward. I don't know what is coming out exactly when, but I'm looking really forward to Cyberpunk when it comes out later this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Last of Us 2.
I've been having fun
Cyberpunk.
with No Man's Sky, even though that's like not new.
Mhm.
Oh,
Kibbles,
it's a good
Kibbles
game.
and I talked, and we started playing it recently, and it's been a great sort of cool down game. If I get like tilted,
Too many snails.
yeah,
Too
if I
many
get tilted in like
snails.
trials, or if I'm just like feeling like stressed out, like it's just like a thing I can throw on, and it's just like Minecraft in space. Like I don't really have to overthink it. It's just fun, and then I find a weird animal, and then I accidentally shoot it, and then robots come and try and arrest me.
Dude, I wish I could play that with you. I have it on PlayStation, and I want to upgrade and play on PC, but I'll lose the ability to play on my VR PC. And even though the game will look better on my PC than it will on my PS4, it won't look better than VR. That's the thing that's put me off.
Andrew Chaz bullying me.
Well, that's
Can you,
what
can you
happens.
not hook up the PS4 VR to the PC? Like I don't know
No.
much about it.
No, it's very much
exclusive?
proprietary. I don't know if that's either. If, is that
Yeah,
the right
that's
word?
the right word.
It's very
Good
much
job.
designed for the PlayStation, and so as much as I think VR is one of the coolest things ever, and I love it, it's such a pain in the ass to set up. Like I can't tell you the last time I even played on my VR because I know it's 15 minutes of prep time before I can play it. Whereas anything else, I can just switch on my console or my PC and play. But No Man's Sky in VR. I mean, you guys have played it now. Like being in it is wild. It's
I can
absolutely
only
insane.
imagine.
And
what
like
she
I'm a
said.
huge like Interstellar is the best movie ever made. I'm a huge space nerd. I just love it. So unfortunately I'll be sticking to PS4 for that one, but I definitely want to get back into it. You guys have kind of inspired me to play it again a little more.
So playing with someone when you're on like a platform like say PC and then somebody else is in VR is really fun because sometimes you get treated to their arm just like clipping through their head. Like,
Yeah.
because like
yeah.
they're doing a thing like it can't read the hand controls right, so they're just like arms are like freaking out, and then they're just teleporting. Wolfie was terrifying the shit out of me because like I would
Yeah.
turn around. She would be like 20 meters behind me, and I'd turn around, and then she's just like right there, and it's like literally unnerving in a game that's not meant to be unnerving. So that's kind of fun, I guess.
One of the
That's a
biggest
super
games
fun
I'm
game.
looking forward to is Final Fantasy, but I am
Oh,
also
the
super
remake.
salty about it because they're not releasing the entire game.
Yeah,
They're
they
releasing
just did
it
in
in
parts.
like periodically, and it really frustrates me. Their
Yeah.
whole like statement was we wanted to make sure that the game was like amazing and like the visual graphics were up to par, and for that reason we couldn't release the full storyline. And I'm like, you fucking serious?
Bet you
like-
serious? Take another year and then release the whole thing.
We
Exactly.
really
man.
thought about how much more money we could make doing it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's-
in terms of time, has from 1997 till now not been enough? Like,
Right.
Yeah, true.
It's
I
just-
I
won't
wasn't
be
even
playing
born
that.
then. Holy shit.
Final Fantasy,
you guys
I
old.
played it a little bit back in the day, but it's not for me, I don't think. But I'm excited that people
Never
are
played
excited about
7.
it. Yeah, and people say they love 7. It's like it's
Yeah, seven.
Oh, it's
Seven
so
was like
good.
one of my like favorite memories of like just spending like an entire summer just sitting down and playing it. The story arc is absolutely amazing. I don't obviously you said like you haven't played a lot of Final Fantasies, but a lot of the stories don't interconnect. They're all separate
Yeah.
completely.
Mhm.
And 7 just for me was just like the nostalgia. It just warms my heart. And
getting
that's
halfway through a game and being told you have to insert disc 2.
Yep.
yeah, dude. Those are the
And then
days.
this 2 is not even out. Dude, that's even worse.
Well, that's gonna
Have you
happen
played-
this time.
Have you
Right,
played
right,
the
exactly.
old, like Final Fantasy 14 online? Have you played that at all?
I have. I love it. I've
So
pumped
good,
maybe
yeah.
about 150 hours into that game. I love
It's
it.
good.
It's absolutely amazing.
Like,
But I don't think there's that much coming out. Obviously, Cyberpunk got pushed back,
Mhm.
which we all know sucks.
Wait,
probably
did it
gonna
get pushed
get
back
you put-
again?
There's
Yeah,
gonna be
just
more
like
delays
from
though.
September.
Yeah.
Oh.
I bet
Damn it, I was
there'll be a
looking
lot of
forward
stuff.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the
just
whole
given
situation that's
situation.
going on with the
Yeah.
world, I highly doubt a lot of the games are going to be finishing when they
Yeah.
anticipated.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
we'll
mean,
see the new
there's-
consoles this year.
Yeah, there's like
Um,
other things like I said before, like One Punch Man anime, like the third season got delayed because of it as well. Because I can't
Yeah.
work on it.
There's going to be a lot of stuff being delayed. Just be prepared for that. If you're looking forward to a game coming out, probably if its release date is very soon, you'll probably be okay. But
Yeah, it
for
probably went
anything
gold
that's a bit
recently.
further out, yeah, it's going to be
Last
be,
of Us Part 2
hit
is
and miss.
coming up on
Yep.
the horizon.
yep.
Oh yeah, also
Very
that.
excited for
excited
that
about.
game.
Yep, me too.
Can't wait for that. I know we don't have much longer left, but I know the majority of us here, sorry Kibbles, have been playing Trials of Osiris and Destiny 2. Do we want to give very quick thoughts on how we're liking it? Because
The
that's
bad
taken
news
over
for
my
the
How much time
life.
have we got? How much
And I-
time have we got?
It's
I want
for
to
me.
die.
It's just taken over my weekends. It feels like 2015 again. Was it 2015?
thi-
Trials
I
was
think
originally.
it's safe to say
Yeah.
that every single streamer and gamer that plays Trials has a love-hate relationship with Trials. We're all excited for it to come out, and then we all fucking hate everything to do with Trials.
It's not everything to do with Trials, though. I think
It's the
we all
map.
know what most people are upset about. Last week, it was the map. And
This week it's the map too.
no, I love.
I
I
like
was
the
so
map,
happy it was Widow's
personally.
Court. I was
For
so.
some-
Well, why
for some
did you
people
go
it is the map,
flawless
though.
then?
Ooh.
Because I have. It's so hard to go flawless when you're playing with Condi.
Okay, dude.
I mean, we did one card earlier of Cyber and we almost went flawless. Andrea has to say something now.
Dude, as soon as you left yesterday, Manu, and I got in with Polar and Bubbles, we got 6 wins on the very first card.
Yeah.
Well, we
Literally,
had
my
This
first
isn't a dick
well,
measuring
fresh
we
off
contest
the
at this
day.
point.
But you didn't get
I-
flawless.
No, we didn't. We
I've
didn't.
been really liking. I mean, I was into trials and D1. I was more PVE focused. I mean, I did PvP, a bit. Trial. We always try to go for trials, flawless and whatnot. I'm really liking trials. There's things that bug, yeah. I mean, you're talking. Last week map was garbage, and then especially when they're talking about like hit register of like the middle spinny fidget
Mhm.
thing on anomaly, you're just like, it's rough because they're bringing back these maps that were designed for console, putting it on PC where you have huge FOV, way quicker movements. It makes the game different, and that's why I really like Widow's Court because it's nice and open. I mean, obviously it's a sniper map. I like sniping, so I've been really liking it. Hard light, it can burn hard. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what they did with that. They need to do something about it. But
Yup, but it's not
won't.
going to be
They
till
won't.
next season,
They won't.
probably.
I think
If
what's
even
interesting
now.
about Trials coming back is that it's sparking conversations not just about the current sandbox that we're in, but it's challenging people to think about what Trials was to them back when the first Destiny was around, and that was a thing they looked forward to every weekend. And I think it's kind of bringing up this issue of like, well, it's challenging people's concepts of like, are you looking back at D1 through rose-colored glasses? Was
Mhm.
it
Yep.
basically playing? Is it playing the same now as it was then? What is different? I've heard people say that this map is super slow. Widow's Court is super slow, and I've seen people respond and be like, I played a lot of D1 trials. Like, do you remember it being fast? It wasn't fast. Like, and I think there's this evaluation period where it's out, it's new, but it's not new, and so you have all of these like comparisons being drawn to the original introduction, and then we had that brief respite with like Trials of the Nine. So there's like, I don't know. It's I think it's just challenging a lot of people's expectations of what they thought it would be when
Yeah.
it came back, what it can be, and whether it should go back to what it was. And I think it's stimulating a lot of interesting conversation. And I think at least for what it's worth, I know that the community managers and Bungie are definitely taking it seriously and they're invested. DMG went on a card last night with Frostbolt and ZK Mushroom.
Oh, it's not so bad.
And-
We went flawless super easy.
Well, but like I mean they were having a conversation about it like as they were playing and did so both before and after. And like I know that Bungie is invested. It's not necessarily just like this is a community manager looking to get a free carry, but like they are playing the same game that we're playing. They see
Yeah.
the problems that are there, and I think it's just when they're making these decisions, it's not being made in a vacuum, and I think they just try to anticipate like how do we bring a thing that's old back and have it be fresh, but also like if they make changes, they can put their foot in it, and it's just how quickly can they kind of like fix the problem once it's
Yeah.
cropped up. Um,
I think your point on rose-colored glasses is really kind of on the nose of just D2 in general. PvP may be specific, obviously, because people are talking about like, this hand cannon meta is blah blah. Destiny's always been a hand cannon thing. I mean, there's been times where it's been auto rifles and stuff like that. But if you go into D1 right now, go into PvP, check out your time to kill on hand cannons. It's ridiculous. It is
The range as
nasty.
well.
The range on them, the time to kill, like. Give me a break. You know what I mean? Like the things they're complaining about, they're like, oh, I'm tired of this. It's like, are you? I mean,
The community's
D1
always
was
gonna
around for a
complain.
while, you know?
Yeah, they're always going to complain about something.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. It's never going to change. I think
For sure.
Destiny has both the best and the worst community. out there.
Yeah.
They've done
Yeah.
so much good, so much wonderful things in general. I think the directory on Twitch as well is a very wholesome and welcoming place. But there's just some sides to it that are really nasty and just and I think a lot of the complaining does come down to people just loving the game so much and wanting it to work for them. A lot of the time I complain, it's like, I just want to play this game all the time. I love it so much that I'm going to criticize. I'm careful about how I do that. But I mean, I think overall for me, I'm absolutely loving the fact that Trials is back. I get frustrated with it. I think it's a little bit of a pride thing. Like,
Oh, it is.
I don't want
100%.
to blow my own horn here, but in D1, like I was good at Trials, and it just like going in and just getting your ass beat over and over and over. Like it's a big reality check for me. You know, again, okay, Polar. For audio listeners, he's giving me a look. But it's like, you know, it's a reality check of like, oh, you know, I play this game a lot. And I'm mostly a PvP guy. And then you come up against some people and you're like, wow, I am nowhere near as good as I thought I was. Which does just
imagine the casual players like, oh, I want to try trials. No,
Oh my
you're not
God.
trying trials,
No,
bro.
absolutely not.
You're not. Good luck.
No.
Am
But
I
hey,
casual?
I think it's great that it's back.
Play like
Hopefully
one.
they iterate on it and make it better.
Good
To,
one.
to pivot and make it kind of just about gaming in general and not necessarily just Destiny, I think it's presenting an interesting issue for as a game developer and as a streamer. Having a situation where you have a set of your own personal expectations, you have community expectations, and obviously those are going to collide when you're doing a stream. And I think sometimes it can be difficult to, especially when you're in a competitive environment, keeping your mental cool and trying to stay
Yeah.
positive. When you also like maybe have people in chat who they're not trolling, they're not being rude, they're not doing anything wrong, but they're expressing opinions that are like really critical and negative of the game, and you're taking that, you're internalizing it, you're trying not to let it get to you, and then at the same time, like you're doing something that's super stressful. I think it's interesting with Destiny because it has this competitive element that you're kind of stuck in. If that's the mode that you want to compete in, that's what you got to do. I think it's interesting though because like there's this tension of trying to like, do you let yourself be negative like to chat and be like, yeah, this is fucked up, like I think Bungie should have done this, this, and this? Like, do you feed the expectations of chat? Do you even have like a chat that is like kind of on the same page as you in terms of like how they perceive the game? And I think that can be something that's just difficult because you never know how long a developer is going to take to fix the problem that's bugging you, and it could just be a persistent issue in your stream for a while.
Mm.
Because if you really like the game and you know that it could be better and you know it's eventually going to come, but you don't know when that fix is going to come, you know, like how long do you want to really commit to that experience of like playing a thing that you like fundamentally, but in the moment kind of hate?
Yeah.
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 And it's tough with I mean, again, most I just stream Destiny, so that's my experience, but it is tough when you're just there trying to enjoy yourself. You know, and people get very emotional, right? And they, you know, they come in and they, oh, I effing hate this and this needs to be nerfed immediately, and blah, blah, blah. And it's hard because I do think when I take a step back and I'm not heated, I can be like, okay, you know, I actually see that, I think this is okay. You know, in the moment, yeah, maybe I could have done something different. Maybe I could have played better. I could have done this, could have done that. But when people come in heated and you're there trying to sort of defend it, but like it gets tiring when you're trying to be like, hey, listen, it's probably fine, it's okay. Like it's just tough, isn't it, when you're trying to just enjoy your game and people can be so negative and just.
Yep.
But I think it is just an emotional reaction a lot of the time.
For sure. For me, because like I kind of hit home with the pride comment you made, because like I'll have opinions on different aspects of the game, whether it's this gun or this map or that map or whatever. But like I tend to get more frustrated because like whether Hardlight is so broken and whether it is or not, I mean, if I did better, hit more shots, like it wouldn't be that of an issue. So like that's kind of how I approach the situation. It's not necessarily me wanting to bitch about certain aspects of the game. More it's like I want to be better than the issues of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like when people come in super frustrated about a map or a gun, like I really try not to feed into it, and it's hard for me at the same time because I may or may not have an opinion on it, or it's gone. It just completely.
It's that boomer brain right there.
Yeah, it is gone.
That's
Carry
all right.
on.
I know exactly what you're saying though. It's tough to constantly keep trying to justify things,
Yeah. That's it is. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm good at looking at a lot of these things from a developer's point of view and think, I'm no expert. I don't make video games. I don't know how easy it is to fix these things. And a lot of people, I think, seem to just think, oh well, this should be easy. They should just fix this. They should just do this. it's like, you just don't know. You don't know how hard
Yeah.
it is.
Mm.
But I mean, that's part of
like
the
it.
the joy of being a broadcaster, right? Like you're
Mm.
kind of in a way, sort of an ambassador or representative of that game. You know, it's just interesting. I do think that's an interesting thing. We should probably wrap this up here. Anybody got anything else? Any final thoughts? Anything to mention on that topic? Yeah, we're
No.
all good.
Nope.
All right, perfect. Oh, sorry, Manny, were you gonna say something?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, beautiful. Right. Well, couple of things to plug. First of all, so anybody who's listening or is watching, well, if you're listening on any of the audio platforms, first of all, come check out the stream. It's live. You can come and look at our funny faces and talk to us in chat. We tend to do this at the weekends. Zero Strategy Podcast on Twitch. Also check us out on Twitter, which is just Zero Strategy Pod. So give us a follow there to keep up to date with everything. Kibbles, where can people find you? What do you want to plug? What you got coming up?
You can find me at The Mighty Kibbles on Twitch and YouTube. I'm working on some videos. I haven't uploaded in about a month. And you can find me
Same.
on Twitter at Duh Mighty Kibbles, because Twitter didn't let me have that one extra letter. So I stream 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday. And yeah, just come find me there. I play a lot of different games.
Beautiful. Manu, where do people find you? What do you want to plug?
Okay, so you can find me on Twitch and YouTube, that guy Cod, as well as on Twitter, but that _guy _Cod, because Twitter. And yeah, I'll used to be pretty consistent with uploads. Now I haven't done a video in a month. So I'm working on a video though, so it might go up soon. I haven't streamed in a while. I don't know. So yep, you can catch me there. Thank you.
Perfect. Cyber, what about yourself?
So you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all the Cyber Project. I also stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays in the evening, so come hang out.
Yeah, perfect. Anything coming up? Any streams? Is it just mainly Destiny still?
It's going to be Destiny, it's going to be Warzone as well. I've got Doom coming up. I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy.
Hell yeah.
I want to get more into Minecraft.
Why?
'Cause Minecraft's fun. You can
Why
switch your
not?
brain
Fun.
off and just have fun.
Don't listen to Polar.
Join us.
Paul, you're the boomer. You should like that.
Just because I have to crank start my car does not mean
All right, Grog, where can everybody find you, and what do you want to plug?
So I'm kind of upping my stream schedule a little bit, just given the free time that I have right now. So at Twitch, I'm just _Grog. Same on YouTube as well. On Twitter, it's just gamer _Grog. Mostly right now, I'm just trying to. I'm now streaming 4 days a week. Trying to shoot for like 8-hour streams if I can. Mostly focusing on Destiny, No Man's Sky. I need to start sprinkling in some Jedi Fallen Order, but really, I'm gonna work on cutting some videos. I've recorded a lot of good footage. I'd like to do a Destiny montage soon. And I've also been playing a lot of Apex still in my sort of downtime, not streaming
super
as
fun.
much.
Super fun.
I love the game. I have a lot of fun with it, and I'm getting better at it. So I have some like cool footage for that. So mostly I just want to like push some things to YouTube and work on my edits.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. And Polar, where can everybody find
No
you?
one
What do you got
cares.
going on?
You Manning. Yeah. I too, much like everyone here, am on Twitch, Polar _J. I am also on the Twitters, Polar _J. Instead of an O, it's a 0. And you know, fuck it. I got an Instagram, Sir Humps. If you want to check it out.
Why did I not know about this Instagram before?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
For
follow
like
it
3
right now.
years, there was just a picture of a Christmas tree. But there's some other stuff on there now, I guess. I don't know. I'll post every now and then. Sir Humps, you can check that out. And if
All
you're
one
feeling
word?
froggy, future things are in the works. over at
Ooh.
Noodle Nuggets on my YouTube channel.
Noodle nuggets. The fuck is wrong with you?
Why am I not subscribed and following these accounts, man? I did not know this.
They are still fresh. Content to come. It's all in the works. I assure you.
If
yeah,
anybody
there's a
wants
bunch
to
of
see Pola's meat, just
You just go to Sir
pull
Hump's
up
Reese
Twitter.
Instagram.
You can see my meat.
And we just got demonetized. Good job. Like we were monetized
we
anyway.
got
but
demonetized
that's
at the start of the
fine. We were so close. So close. All right. And I am Condyfly. You find me on Twitch, YouTube, Condyfly. You find me on Twitter, Condyfly with 2 Ys, because Twitter is the worst. Yeah, I just want to say a big thank you for Polar and Grog for joining us. Obviously, both have been guests previously on the show, but now they're joining us full time, so expect to see a lot more and hear a lot more of these guys.
Whether
If
you
enjoyed-
wanted it or not.
We stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars.
If you
Let's
enjoyed
get
the
on
show, make sure to hit follow the live stream, or if you're watching on Twitch or anything else like that, we do upload these to YouTube as well, so check that out there. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. We'll try and make this a bit more consistent, and we will see you next time. Until then, take it easy.
Bye.